every Saturday afternoon. But no, it's been great. We got a great fan base. I say it all the time, the most loyal fan base in the country. It's great to feel their passion and energy. And you want to be at a place that's got high expectation and expects a lot and expects championships, because that's what we expect. So I appreciate them.
Is there a common theme of fans that they're asking you this year? Something that, number one question maybe?
Well, I think they want to see the program to continue to progress, but I also see that they see our work ethic and the time and effort that we're putting in to continue to improve our program.
Would you say the early signing period is the most impactful of the new recruiting rules, and are there any other ones that you feel like are going to affect this class about as much?
I think that I really look at it as the early signing date. Of the 24 guys we signed, probably 13 of them would have signed with us in December. And all it really does is enables you to move forward on the underclassmen for the years to come. But I do think that is a pretty impactful situation as far as being able to sign those guys and know that you don't have to recruit them until February like you do in a lot of situations.
Well, what will Jake be doing this summer? What can he do on his own, and what do you expect him to be doing?
Well, he'll be in the film room. Obviously, continue to progress. But he'll be orchestrating our player run practices, especially with the offensive side of the ball. I think that they've already started throwing with the receivers. I know in May the guys that are on campus. I know that Brian and Ortre and Debo and Hayden are all on campus right now, and some of the running backs. So, really, his leadership within the offense and our football team is critical, and I know the respect that his teammates have with him.
Where have you seen Jake grow the most since he's gotten on campus, and where do you want him to grow the most before fall camp's over?
Well, I think you don't ever want to ask somebody to be something that they're not, and he does have outstanding leadership ability, but to continue to be more vocal to positively affect his teammates.
It was reported that Jake got invited to be a counselor at the Maine Passing Academy. Just what does it mean to see your quarterback get that kind of honor, and what does it mean for the program?
Well, Archie called me, and Archie and I have gotten to be very good friends, and wanted Jake to be at the camp, and certainly excited for Jake, because it's a great honor to be able to go out and be with Peyton and Eli and the Manning family. My son Jackson will be there too, so I'm looking forward to spending some time with Jake in Louisiana.
What does that say about Jake as far as how highly he's regarded by people outside the program?
Well, he's a good football player, and he played extremely well his freshman year, and the way he's working and the time and the effort he's putting in, and the people he has around him, certainly excited about this fall.
Have you had other quarterbacks work there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We had guys in Florida. Yeah, I sure have.
Obviously, keeping up with former players is something that you take really personally. Do you feel like you've been embraced by the South Carolina alumni, the former South Carolina players? What's your relationship with them like?
Absolutely. Well, the Letterman game, our first year, was awesome to be able to see those guys and smiles on their faces, to be back with their teammates, and I think we had over 100 guys there. That was a lot of fun to watch. We had to kind of cancel it this year because of our basketball team, which is a good reason to cancel. I'm glad we did. No, they've been awesome as far as the support they have for us, and because we're in Columbia, a lot of our guys still live in Columbia. I mean, we hatched out the Letterman's game with Clyde Wren within about 7 days, and over 100 guys show up. But a lot of the guys are in Columbia because they've got business opportunities after football in Columbia, so it's been great.
What's sort of the course of action for Jelon these first couple months in the summer? Is there any specifics you guys wanted to focus on as
just be in shape? Yeah, that's the biggest thing right now. You can't learn anything when you're bent over gasping for air. So you need to get in the best physical condition that you can be. Obviously, being here in May, you've got a whole nother month to train, along with the 8-week program that we'll put him through in June and July. So that's the most critical thing right now, is just to get in the best physical condition you can be in to be able to sustain, especially a big body early in the season.
What kind of weight would you like to see him at?
Well, I don't ever prescribe a weight until we work with the young man. So I want Jeff Dillon and our staff to have a period of time to work with him. We look at his hydration levels, we look at the body fat content, and we look at all of those sort of things, and then see how he's moving, and be able to determine better of what weight he needs to be at.
How much of that involves the catapult system you've talked about?
Absolutely. I mean, that's when you talk in terms of work capacity, when you talk in terms of gauging over 12 miles an hour, how many times you're able to repeatedly do that, which is kind of a measuring mark for a big man especially. It's critical to be able to see that data. Now, the hard thing about that is you really want a year to study it to give you a better idea, and that's why we're much further along with our football team right now as far as work capacity and who's straining, who's not straining. So it's a great measurement to see who also is straining. And but you need a little bit more time with the newer players before you can start making those decisions.
When you come out of spring ball, can you look at your defensive line and say, we know the people in this group who are going to be sort of guys for us, rotation guys, or is that something that settles further down the road?
Well, I think that in spring ball you see some flashes, especially from young players, that get you excited, but they've got to do it consistently well, and that's something that we've struggled with on the defensive line, is consistent play. So we need to get into fall camp and find us a rotation. I do feel like we've got some ability to position. I just don't think we're as deep as we need to be.
Coach, you've had a bunch of recruiting time now with Coach Bentley. Now that you've gone through, a couple of visits with him, more than a couple, I'm sure, how important is he to getting top-tier players in here, and certainly from the state of South Carolina, given his pedigree?
Well, recruiting is all about relationships and trust. And when you're able to have someone on your staff that has been a high school coach in the state of South Carolina, that has built a great reputation as a coach, but also as a person. And that's the thing, you meet Bobby. Bobby's a real person. He's a real man. He's a good person. He's a good husband. He's a good father. He's a good coach. I mean, all of those things, and he's very well respected in the state because of the time he has spent here. So when you're able to walk into the door of a high school, wherever you are, they know Bobby. They like Bobby. They're happy for him and the opportunity he has at the University of South Carolina.
Kind of similar question Trevor Smart was asked. If you could get a former South Carolina player on this team,
oh man,
who would you go with?
I'm gonna probably have to piss somebody off if I say this one. I think obviously I'd probably take on offense. I'd take Marcus Lattimore. I've just got great respect for him, not just as a player but as a person, how he carries himself and how he affected everybody in the great run there, winning the East that year, and what he did, and obviously Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah.
I wish we had an extra year of eligibility.
Did you hear what his answer was?
Mm-hmm.
He said he'd take you.
Oh yeah, I know, I heard that.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's kidding with me or not.
Guys
like me got Ray Goff fired, so I don't know why he would want to coach me. That's an interesting question for him. I haven't talked to him about it. I'll ask him about it next time I talk to him.
What has Justin King kind of brought to the social media world, and how's he benefited you guys?
Well, it's tremendously through for our fan base and in recruiting, and it's all about those videos that are captivate you a little bit. And right now our attention span as human beings is very short. You notice they're only 8 to 10 to 12 seconds, but he has a very good imagination. He's got some guys working underneath my credit coach Tanner and making that move and making that happen for our entire athletic department and for the university. I think it's a very positive, gives a very positive look for our entire athletic department and our university.
What is the process like for you coordinating the kind of recruiting efforts where you can't go on the road, but the rest of your staff is out there combing the Southeast?
Well, I'm in the office every day, and I just hung up the phone with a guy. I mean, our coaches are calling me every day to update me from a practice evaluation standpoint, from a basketball evaluation standpoint, from a track meet evaluation standpoint, what they like, what they don't like. Let's go back and watch the tape, and it's constantly, I mean, I'm watching anywhere from 35 to 45 guys a day, and multiple guys that I've seen multiple times, to go back to continue to see the mistakes you may have made before, to go back to your notes, to go back to our evaluation sheets to look at, and to continue to re-rank the board of where we feel like the best players that we can get.